His experiment in mind control a success, Stalin now has what he desires, an Orwellian nation of idol worshippers.
We don't stop!
I am change. I've been around since the beginning of time.
And not what your country can do for you.
Over the years, I've had many faces. Over the years, I've had many looks.
We're gonna spread happiness. We're gonna spread freedom. Obama's gonna change it. Obama's gonna lead 'em. We're gonna change it and rearrange it. We're gonna change the world.
Occupational specialty, internment resettlement specialist.
Told in words, repeated and repeated, that Stalin is good. Stalin is great. Stalin loves them. Stalin stands between them and those who would usurp their freedom.
That you don't have to agree with the president or like him in any way, shape, or form, but at least respect the office of the president. Well, now the president of the United States wants to speak to school students next week to welcome them back to school. It's a new year. Study hard, work hard, do well, set goals, try to achieve everything you possibly can. What parent would argue with that?
Now's the moment where he's forced to sing. Sing with all your heart. For our children, for our families, nations all join as one.
This is outright brown shirt academy propaganda by the long-legged Mac Daddy. And we're just not going to have this now. I mean, it's one thing to deal with adults, but when you start poisoning the minds of children.
Have dissent, you can have passionate disagreements and have your thoughts and your freedom of speech, but when you say things like the president is destroying what is good about America, the implications behind that can certainly cross many lines, and we may have to see Republican leaders step forward and admonish these kinds of comments from those within their own party.
The city of grandeur, Moscow took centuries of building, and the leaders often didn't hesitate to sacrifice their people for bigger things.
So let us summon a new spirit, of patriotism, of responsibility, where each of us resolves to pitch in and work harder and look after not only ourselves but each other.
Joseph Stalin killed millions, but before, he got rid of his opposition. And this building right here is now a concert hall. It used to be the House of Soviets, and that is where the Moscow show trials took center stage 70 years ago.
But righty talkers are telling their foot soldiers that the president is trying to indoctrinate America's children, trying to indoctrinate them, you know, maybe like do your homework, something like that.
Accused of crimes from espionage and sabotage to forming a terrorist organization to assassinate Stalin, they all confessed.
John Kennedy was killed in an open car in Dallas in the midst of the most hated, it was like the mood we're in right now.
There was no conspiracy, no threat to Stalin's life. Stalin was sensitive to disapproval and he eliminated any division within the Communist Party.
I can tell you now, if he's not, another one will not be able to get in. If Obama fails to carry the seed to the point of full prophecy of false Messiah, nobody else will be able to get in the door, because history, people will look back at history and say, no. You look too much like what Hitler was about.
I have a dream. But I've always had the same goals. To make this world a better place by helping those who need it most. To never turn my back when things get tough. And to show that positive can always overpower negative. I am change. And this is what I wear.
The Obama transition team is trying to figure out how to harness this support. Some think there is potential to convert political support into social activism, the likes of which this country hasn't seen since FDR's New Deal.
I think it's going to bring in an era where the president's connected with an army to do his bidding and put pressure on Congress.
I pledge to be of service to Barack Obama.
Let me ask you a question. When did the president become more important than the freaking people in this country? When did that freaking happen? Somebody freaking tell me. When?
I can't understand why somebody would show up at a presidential town hall meeting, whether they're inside or outside, with a gun on. That is psycho activity is what that is. Don't you remember the story, folks, down in Atlanta when a prisoner overtook a guard and went in and shot the judge and other people? How do we know that gun owner today just could protect that firearm so well that he knew that nobody was going to come up and grab it and start shooting people?
And the Jedi Rebellion has been foiled.
What's happened?
The Chancellor's been elaborating on a plot by the Jedi to overthrow the Senate.
The mood of hostility and suspicion spread beyond this house yard, and in fear of accusations coming their way, the people showed no mercy for the accused. They tried to get rid of our beloved Stalin, says this factory worker. Death to traitors of the motherland.
In order to overthrow Obama, you're going to have to march through. You're going to have to march through slavery all over again and become a slave master. Anybody white that lifts up their voice against Obama, you immediately become a slave master and vicariously a member of the Ku Klux Klan. You become an imperial grand wizard, and you are known as a castrator and a lyncher of black people, a segregationist, if you say anything against Obama.
You know, I hope that's the case. I hope all these teabaggers and birthers and Barack Obama is a secret Muslim. I hope it is a small and vocal minority, because if it's not, this country's in real trouble.
Well, I'm going to all right, Mike, thank you very much,
video.
Mike.
Great job,
so
Mike
you
Stark.
said you think it's racist, and a lot of people agree.
What they're saying underneath it is, you know what, maybe he's an Islamic fundamentalist.
That's not true, but that's the game that Obama has run on America.
You gotta be kidding me. I have a freaking message for the White House and the freaking mainstream media. This isn't about race. People aren't mad because Barack Obama's half black. People are mad because Barack Obama is single-handedly trying to destroy this country, trying to turn us into Russia or communist China, and people are sick of it. And you protesters, you have two choices at this point, okay? You can keep screaming, you can keep yelling, you can keep fighting for what you think is right, and you're probably going to be called a racist. Or you can listen to the media, you can keep quiet, you can let the government do what they're going to do, and the only thing going to be called pretty soon is freaking comrade. Won't you wake up? Wake up!
Yet Stalin's myth is still alive, and it will live on from generation to generation in Russia until the last born of the 20th century has died, or until the world looks upon his like again.
He's got power. You see what I'm talking about? And this is all from the devil. It's all from the devil.
The cult of Stalin grew in strength as the leader consolidated his power. He now had no obstacles to his way of leading the country. Despite the damage of the Great Purges, some even today say Russia owes its industrial base to Stalin.
And the remaining Jedi will be hunted down and defeated.
I guess here's the bigger picture. Does Senator Inhofe have the kind of dedicated followers that might include somebody who's crazy, who's something of a lunatic, who hears the esteemed senator saying President Obama is turning loose terrorists in America, and therefore that crazy person thinks, well, then it's my responsibility to take out the president?
The attempt on my life has left me scarred and deformed. But I assure you, my resolve has never been stronger.
What's your pledge?
What's your pledge?
I know you got a pledge. What's your pledge?
You got a pledge?
What's your pledge?
I pledge
To be a servant to our president.
and all mankind. Because together we can, together we are, and together we will be the change that we seek.
In order to ensure the security and continuing stability, the Republic will be reorganized into the first galactic empire for a safe and secure society.